look what happened yesterday. I was doing the portrait of my two friends who launched their events in their apartment in Amsterdam, and I was just minding my business, going around with my camera, the microphones, and just really being in my element. And so these two girls come to me, asking me about my equipment and what I'm doing with this camera, if I'm covering for the event, if I'm creating content for the event. And I said that I was doing the portrait series. And this is the first time where I said it and where I didn't, stutter or dim myself or shrink myself. I literally said, I'm a documentarian, I create short movies and portrait series, and this is what I'm doing today. And I went on and on about my project, and I got so excited about saying it, and I got so excited about actually, I think saying it reminded me how much I'm excited to do this. And so when I said it, I think that the ladies saw the energy, saw the excitement, saw the, ooh, kind of energy. And ultimately they said, oh my God, this is like serendipity, because we are a marketing agency and we're looking for a documentarian for a special event at the end of the month. And that's how I landed the fucking job as a fucking documentarian for end of May. We literally sat down and started talking. They showed me the vision, the mood board, and I really loved the fact that they were so passionate about what it is that they were talking about. And obviously the music was a bit loud, so I didn't get everything, to be honest. But the body language, the tone they used, everything, it was just like, mais en fait, c'est ça. We need more of this. We need more people who just talk about what it is that they're doing and how passionate they are about the things that they're doing, because otherwise it's flat and you don't get, I don't know. When we started talking and they shared everything that they're doing, and by the way, it's for a fashion designer who's already doing the défilé. How do we say défilé? Catwalks? In New York, in London, has been featured in Vogue magazine, in Grazia, in all sorts of, I would say, important magazines and stuff, which for me doesn't really matter, because I was so focused on the fact that I showed myself as what it is that I'm doing, and I got a job out of it. So call it audacity. Like, it was the first time where I really didn't feel like I'm lying, sort of. Because sometimes, you tell yourself maybe you are one thing, but the way you act about it is completely different. And maybe when you say the thing and you quote unquote lie to yourself is because you don't really believe in what it is that you're doing. But for me, I do believe in what it is that I'm doing. And I want to become a fucking movie director and a fucking documentarian. I've been working on that for the past 3 months with my mini movies, short movies, the portrait series. Okay, I'm not editing anything at the moment, and I'm just really focused on creating stories and, learning to create stories, learning to ask questions, learning to guide the conversation. And that's a fucking skill to build in and of itself. But at the same time, saying it the way I said it, I was really proud of myself, and not I had anything to prove when they said that they were looking for a documentarian. I was just very excited to say it this way. And truth be told, I spent the rest of the party, I stayed a few hours, and every time someone was asking me about what it is that I was doing with my camera, we had a beautiful conversation, because people were like, oh my God, this is such a nice idea. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, you're just like, it was also just a reminder for them to just start, and we talked even more about dreams, because I talked about it, and I talked with so much energy that they started talking to me about their own dreams and what they want to be doing. And the conversations were so interesting, and for me so filled with energy, because I don't know, it just brings something different. It brings energy, it brings even more willingness to do the thing that it is that you want to be doing, versus showing up as, oh my God, no, but this is just a passion project, like, to be honest, like, this whole thing started as my coach telling me to be a documentarian for 10 days between my first appointment and the second appointment I had with her. She asked me, you're going to create portraits, you have 10 days, create as many portraits as you can. And this is really how it started. And obviously I love challenges. And so I jumped on it. And right after that, the vlogcast, the vlog and the podcast came about. And the portrait series that I wanted to do for so long came about. And I got into it from the very get-go. So I remember that when I started doing that and presenting, for example, the first short movie about what makes a good life, I literally went to people and I was like, but it's just a passion project. Like, I'm not doing anything with it. Like, it's just really, I'm not sure, like, if it's going to see the light of day. I'm just going to put it, like, maybe on YouTube, but I'm not really sure. And so, my shoulders were sort of, going inwards. My tone of voice was just teeny tiny because I was looking at people and I was just expecting their approval. I was expecting them to look at me as in, oh my God, she's doing something really huge. And at the same time, I was testing, I think, how it is that I'm saying it. Because when you say something and you look at people, for me, it's like, en fait, it's approval. It's like, are you going to approve of my project and should I continue with my project? Or are you going to just dismiss it and be like, okay. And then if I get this level of response, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Like, who the fuck do you think you are, Sabou? And this time around, I legit looked at people straight in the eyes. And I remember my shoulders and my whole body being, turned upwards as if like my chest was going out. My shoulder, like my whole body was, droit. Like I had a good posture. I didn't feel like I was shrinking myself. And I looked people and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm very excited without, overdoing it. But I mean, if you ask me questions, I'll just blabber. As you can see and as you can tell, I love blabbering. But anyways, this is really the whole energy that I got from the conversations I've had yesterday. And it gave me even more, it really gave me even more energy to continue. And when I see that, quote unquote, this pays off, the girl literally gave me the fucking job on the spot. Like, she's going to send me details on Instagram and everything, but she literally gave me the fucking job on the spot. How fucking cool is that? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess my memo of the day, it's 6:51 on a Sunday. My memo of the day is be audacious. Learn to build audacity. Be audacious about the fact that you are audacious enough to just really live the life that you really want to be living and not expect any approval from anyone, any validation. Because at the end of the day, if I remember the people that I met and to whom I spoke about this project, where I was like, oh, but it's just a passion project, a teeny tiny voice, body language that is not sure, not confident, not excited. Who are these people? These were people I literally met once in my life, who are never going to dictate my life, who are not my friends, who are not my parents, who are not going to pay my bills, who are not even going to live my life. And even the people that I spoke to with that super high energy level and everything is the same. It's just, how do you put yourself out there in a way that you feel proud of yourself, that you feel excited about who you are, about your capabilities, your skills, about what it is that you're building, and just maybe meeting other people who are as excited about their own dreams. I swear to you, I realize that not a lot of people talk about their dreams. And I think what I love the most with this portrait series is that people get to realize who they are, get to realize the level of skills, the level of capabilities again, of resilience, of courage, of stamina, of audacity, of bravery they have within themselves to actually do the things that they're doing. Because sometimes we're so focused on the doing that we forget the being, that we really forget about the person that is holding all of that is holding the vision and that is doing all these things. And this is a bit of a tangent, but I'm really starting to understand the impact and the value that this project that I'm doing, the portrait series, is bringing, not only to me, but hopefully also to the people, because it's a great opportunity to just reflect over who you are as a person. So vraiment, be audacious, and all of this, makes me even proud of myself, even more proud of myself, and makes me even more excited to do this. Like the vision I have for these portrait series is like, vraiment, it's not just like portrait series and we're having fun. No, vraiment, it's like, putain, people have stories, people have beautiful stories. You have a fucking beautiful story, donc vraiment just go out there and share it, regardless of the means that you're using. Just fucking share it. Donc voilà, that's it for today. I'm feeling dizzy, so I'm just gonna go and eat something. Bisous, and have a lovely Sunday.